Hello, hi, hey.
Good morning, good afternoon, actually, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. So excited we're back again. uh,
Yay!
how was your weekend, Jesse?
Yeah, it was epic. It was really good. Did a great virtual reality, augmented reality experience, which
Okay.
literally mindfucked me. I mean, testing out this really amazing ring. It's like
What
a
the?
contactless payment ring, screen inside as well. And
Jesus.
basically, you can pay with your fingers. So you swipe it. So if you get a coffee with a contactless little machine, you just go,
Fuck you.
beep,
Are you kidding me? Really?
cool.
Oh my God, you can pay and knock a brother out.
Exactly. So thank you, Curve Life, for letting me borrow it. It's been so much fun.
Oh my God,
How was
I'm
your weekend? What
impressed.
did you get up to?
Weekend was good. My sister's birthday Saturday. She turned like 33. Went to
Oh,
a restaurant in Windsor, actually, which is not far away from either of
yeah.
us. And they, I won't name them, but they screwed up our order big time.
Oh,
Um, but it was cool. It was like about 410, £20 bill, but they gave us a 50% discount. So in the end, it was like quids in. We're like, we're completely fucked, and we just enjoyed it. So it turned out to be a good night. The food was bad, but as in not great. It was
yeah.
okay, but then it turned. It's a restaurant bar, and the bar got lively after. So then all's well that
Gonna
ends
make
well.
up for it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad it went well. 'Cause 33 is not a small number.
No, it's not. It's not. And my sister knows it as well. So she got appropriately hammered.
Good. That's what I do. So for all our listeners, last episode, if you didn't catch it, we literally talked about secure SEO. We looked at the pros, the cons. Deepak, you took us through some of the difficulties of it as well. The fact you don't see an immediate return on investment.
Yeah,
As
absolutely.
like advertising. And we looked at the top three things businesses can do who are just starting up, who already have a website. So making sure it's fast,
Yep.
making sure you don't get anything too complicated. So there's
Yep.
no sort of complex suppliers or specific suppliers. What's the right terminology for that?
For the suppliers, as in for
Yeah,
hosting, you mean? Or
specialist suppliers, yes, for
yeah,
hosting.
yeah.
That's the one.
No problem. No problem.
And then also looking at naming conventions as well to make sure that you've got that name right and that you can find it everywhere. We talked hats, if I'm right, rubber ducks,
God.
and I believe there was this kind of emotional, fluffy moments as well.
God, you're good. Have you done this before? Oh, let me think. That reminds me, actually, I got in trouble. So everybody, if you're watching this on YouTube, please like, please comment and subscribe. The name of the show is Life, Love and Entrepreneurship. I was meant to do this before, apparently, and I fucked up and I did not do any of it. If you're listening on iTunes or wherever you're listening, please just fucking follow us because we're awesome.
Oh, that's on it. A few people got back to me on Twitter with some questions about the future of SEO
Oh,
and
sweet. Okay.
marketing. So we'll go through this at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyone who's going to ask us questions, what they can get us on Twitter, probably
Yeah, exactly.
Instagram, we're everywhere.
I will set up some URLs for this specifically, but Google Jesse, Google myself. Please just YouTube is going to be YouTube and iTunes are going to be the kind of hub. But then we'll try and get onto all of the other platforms, as Jesse's rightfully said. Twitter. I don't tweet as much as I should because I'm a twit, but there you go. Anyway, I will leave it to you. That was a really poor
Cliche.
play on words. I feel so embarrassed. Great, fantastic.
You should. So Deepak, I want to rack your brains because we looked at the past and all the present, what's happening, but what's happening in the future? So if I was going to think about SEO and email marketing, what would I be thinking? What's going to happen in like 5 years' time, or where do you see the trends moving towards?
Yeah, sure. Good question. Okay, so number one, like accelerated mobile pages. So basically, websites that are built for mobile. Really simply, what that practically means is that the way that pages load currently, it's often with the JavaScript at the top. People are beginning to shift it to the bottom. So if you like the static elements of a website will load first, and then all the dynamic elements are served after. That
Yeah,
would be an example of an accelerated mobile page, meaning that they know that the stuff that loads quicker is the stuff that will load first, delivering a better experience for the user. So Google's beginning to make a preference towards pages that have accelerated mobile built into their design, if you will. You get like easiest thing to do on WordPress. You can get an AMP plugin. Try it. It will screw up because it will do. It's not a self-serving plugin. That means it will suddenly be accelerated your page. But use that in combination with getting a dev guide to look at it. That's the first thing. Second thing is voice Alexa is probably the great example of it. I've got Alexa at home now. I'm like, Alexa, play some jazz music, or Alexa, how do I get to, etc. So you need to begin thinking about serving up basically content that is built in with voice search in mind. Again, that's more technical in terms of how the site is built, so Google understands how to read it, alongside, from a content perspective, one of the easiest examples, if Google really likes pages that have the TLDR, you might have seen them on some sites that have long form blog posts. Really simply put, if you write like a 2,000 word blog post, you should also have a section that is TL semicolon DR, which means too long, didn't read. And in that section, it's basically like a summary table. Blog posts that understand SEO and the guys that know that what they're doing will have these at the top of the actual blog post, because it is served for the person who just wants to basically meet without reading everything on the blog post. And Google really likes content like that because they know you understand your user. So that's like a practical thing that you could do if you're thinking, well, that's a load of tech shit that I'm not going to do. So you can do that. And then, of course, we touched upon it, what we're doing today, like video. Long story short, pages with video rank much better than pages that don't have video. So look at turning your blog posts into videos. There's tools now that can turn blog posts into actual videos. Lumen5.com. Lumen5 is an excellent place where you can plug in a blog URL and it'll spit it out into a video with the text. So that's a great example. You could also look at blog to text, blog to voice services. So you could have a section of your blog, which, and again, there's probably free options online. Turn your blog into a voice, and then people can play the blog instead of listening to it, instead of reading it. So there's lots of actual cool tools that can really support this, that you could begin looking at with the future in mind.
Yeah, God, there's a lot there, isn't there? Do you think, so if you're starting out now, would you need to develop that with the future in mind? So would you implement what you can see today, like that's easy, or is it better just to start off thinking about the future already?
Absolutely, it's a good question. It really depends upon the technical propensity that you have. So, when you talk, the simplest example of it is I would treat the advice I give to someone who wants to run a marathon quite differently depending upon if they've done 5K or if they're used to doing half marathons. Yeah. So work out whether you're a 5K runner or you're a half marathon runner. If you don't know what you don't know, then you got to get out on the roads and test yourself. So in this instance, I'd be like, fuck it, try everything, see how you feel. If you roll with it and you're like, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, then amazing. Maybe you're already at half marathons, maybe you're about to hit an 18-miler next week, right? If it all sounds a bit overwhelming and at the 5K range, listen, there's people that can be 5K world beaters. So I would say focus on one thing and do that really, really, really well. It's a little bit like Justin Bieber became famous on YouTube. You can use one platform to then start leaking everything into other areas. So if you're like, Deepak, you know what, I really, really love riding and I hate being in front of a camera, then fine, just produce fucking amazing content and really think about that as a means of what you can achieve. Grant Cardone, again, someone that I'm re-listening to his Audible book, The 10x Rule. It's absolutely amazing, and he just has this notion of don't seek to compete, dominate. Competition never services. Competition is great for the consumer. It's great for the person who wants to choose between Amazon versus eBay versus Walmart versus Alibaba, but it's never great for the actual business. Like if I'm Amazon, I don't want to be competing against Alibaba. I don't want to be competing against eBay. So when you go into a vertical, seek to fucking dominate it. You want to be the monopoly. You want to be the person that everybody turns to. So start and act with that in mind when you choose to do something. Aim to be like, oh, I want to try and be competitive. Don't aim to do that. Aim to smash everyone, because everyone underestimates the amount of effort that's required to even be competitive. We all underestimate stuff and we think, right, well, I did 10 YouTube videos, so that should be me. No, you're going to have to do 100 videos to even get the returns for 3 of them. So I think that for me, that's the biggest thing, that people underestimate the amount of application that's required to actually get the returns that you're looking for. we always underestimate, and then there's this bullshit notion. It's very British, which is, oh, it's okay. Well, at least you started, and you can see how. No, that's all bullshit, right? Just fucking smash it and keep smashing it. So for those people that are like, wow, it's overwhelming. Of course, it's overwhelming, but just write your blog posts. Keep writing. Keep trying. Keep writing, because your competitors are definitely doing the same thing, and you want to seek to basically not just outsmart them, but outwork them, because you will come up against people that are both really, really smart, that are also working really, really hard, and you just being really, really smart or working really, really hard aren't going to be enough. You have to do both. So I'd say that if it's a blog post, like, just look at who's the best out there, and then try and build something that's 10 times better than that. And that's for me like just a singular rule that you should follow.
I think that's a really, really good point. Super good point, because you can't be okay. You've got to be the best. But with that as well, there's a massive effort and maybe a lot of insecurity that can come from thinking, I'm not going to be the best. Like, how can you keep up this energy, this sort of motivation and that drive? Like, you've done it. And what advice would you have for people trying to do the same thing?
Absolutely. It's a great question. Guys, you've got to find your fucking why, right? Your why cannot be money. It's bullshit. Like okay. So my why is that my brother financially struggles to take his kids on holiday away abroad. He earns maybe less than £25,000 a year, and he is of the mindset, for whatever it means, that he's gonna stick with where he is. Right. My why is being able to pay off his entire mortgage, develop trust funds for his children, 50 grand each, such that his future is taken care of, and he can give my nephews the life that they should have. They've never been abroad, right? Now that is a why that drives me to get up at 7 a.m. in the morning and start fucking working. It's not because I want to make £500,000, because £500,000 for my business, whilst it's all great and well, it's not gonna get me working on a Saturday morning when I'm hungover. It's not gonna get me away from Netflix, right? So it's really important that you find your why, and your why has to be attached to emotional drivers. It has to make you feel a certain way. I'm not a great believer in, okay, find your passion in life and follow that. It's just like a load of bollocks, right? Unless you're a gifted sportsman who shows a predisposition towards a 100-meter sprint. For most of us, we venture into the areas of business, or into the areas of work, or into the areas of whatever we do in life, and you have to find an emotional trigger. So for me, that's how you can continually operate at higher than normal levels. And when people come to you and say, oh, well, Deepak, you don't need to work that hard. You don't need to necessarily work on Sunday or take it easy. That's when you know you're operating in the right space, because that's when you know that you're doing things that fucking normal people are not prepared to do. And you look at anybody that's successful, they do not do what broke or what people that achieve mediocrely do. And that's the other part to consider, that when you're looking or taking advice, be mindful of the people that you take advice from, not because their advice isn't bad or because they don't mean well, but if you want to do things that you have not yet done, you cannot take advice from people that have never done it. And I think that those combinations for me are really important, because you always come across people that try and stoke down your flames, whereas you want people that will fan the flames and say, fucking amazing, get up at 7 on Saturday, smash it, great. Why aren't you working, Deepak? It was a bad day. Go back to fucking work. And that's the mindset that I think that you need, because success is hard. It's really, really hard. And you will meet anyone that you'll meet who's successful, they will tell you how hard it's been to get there. And I think that when you find your why, that's kind of the basis for getting up on those Saturdays and doing those things that maybe others aren't prepared to do. We're back. You were talking about the friends and stuff. Sorry, I remember you saying.
Yeah, so it's one big thing with, I've come across a lot of people said the same thing. Often friendship groups are not necessarily fully supportive of entrepreneurship, because it's something that scares them. They see this one person in their pack change, improve, work harder, become better in many respects, and it can intimidate a lot of people if they're not doing that. It's a lonely road. It's a very, very lonely road, and to be able to do it and do it well, you need support from people like you. So those kind of motivational little things that help you think, okay, it's not just me, I'm not alone. There are people out there who do the same thing.
I completely agree. You know, like my friendship circles have changed. One, from moving from people that they've moved from proximity relationships to value-based relationships. So proximity was people that I was around at university, or people that, you know, frequented the same places with. That has faded away and been replaced by value-based friendships. Now I have friends that are all in the entrepreneurial space, right? That are that have the same aspirational values, but now it's going through a change again. Now I am some of the friends that are being not just being phased out both ways. I've got a few phased out because the friends that aren't actioning the things that they say that they'll do. So people with a growth mindset that actually are kind of hustling. This whole thing that people talk about, right? You're the sum of five, and you're five, you know, and all of this. I'm realizing in real time that it's true, that the people that I'm finding myself drawn to and vice versa are growing in parallel with the more success at a very limited level that I'm having. And I've seen some of the friends that are around me fall away because there's been some level of jealousy, which has been fucking weird. But then also, number two, if I'm being really honest, I've got a bit fed up of some of my friends because they don't do the things that they say they will do. And I've had the same conversation with them for the last 36 months, and I've not seen them fucking progress. And it pisses me off because I don't like people like that as a point of rule. That, dude, do the fucking things you'll say you'll do, or stop talking to me about the same shit, man, because it's
true. It's easy to complain, isn't it? It's a lot easier to complain than actually action and do something. Is that your cat?
Yeah. She's around. She's basically a dog in disguise. You know, it's a way. And you know, and the people that I begin to spend more time now, these are guys that, you know, they're making $50,000 a month and they're working from home, and I'm like, whoa, I want to do what you do. And the way that these people think, behave, act, and operate is so fucking different. They just get shit done. They have like supreme amounts of hustle, but they don't call it hustle. They're like, dude, this is normal. You know, this is the SOP. And I agree that you know, if any of you find that, you know, that's not happening, it means that you've been very fortunate to be around an extremely successful bunch of people. But if you haven't, and you aren't, it just probably means that you're a lazy motherfucker, and you just have difficulty accepting it because you wrap it up in all sorts of rationale, like, oh, my parents came over, or oh, this happened, or oh, you know, I had a late night, or oh, you know, the girlfriend did this or that. But you need to surround yourself with people that understand your mission and vision, and that will help you drive forward in that direction, because otherwise, you know, you got to get rid of the anchors. You got to get rid of the anchors. They will always hold you back, because energy is so, you know, as you said, it counts for so much.
Yeah.
That's
where I guess networking comes in as well. So at the moment, I'm using LinkedIn crazy amounts, because you just meet so many people. And the funny thing is, everyone on there that I've contacted, I've had a question. Maybe there's someone who they do something that I want to be able to do as well. I'll literally message them, say, look, tell me about this. If you don't have LinkedIn Premium, you can just send them an invite with a message on it. And people get back to you.
Yeah.
Everyone I've come across has come back to me, which has been amazing.
Brilliant. Amazing. And it's fucking great that you do that, because people want to help. People do. And then other people get afraid to ask, like, oh, well, are you sure you should ask them? Or, oh, you really need to think about how you position it. It's just like, fucking dude, just send the fucking message, man. It takes like a minute. You're probably going to fail anyway. So why spend 6 hours thinking about how you're going to fail? And exactly, I agree. So it sounds like you, and this is, have a bias to action.
Yeah.
A bias towards action is like the number one skill set I look for when I hire. I like people that just are like, yeah, I done it. You know what? If they fuck it up, it's fine. It's the fastest way to learn. So, you know, I agree that LinkedIn is brilliant. Just reaching out to people is brilliant, and just spending time. It's so true. You spend time around people that just operate on a different level, and you're like, wow, I didn't even know that there was that fucking level that existed. Like, I've had that moment where I'm like, oh my God, dude. I was saying to this guy this morning, Sonny T, he was showing his bank account on his private Facebook group, like $150,000 or something in the last couple months. And he's like, you motherfuckers, you ain't working or whatever. But you speak to him, and I was like, dude, you're like level 9 of fucking Donkey Kong, and I'm like on level 3. and I can't get past the boss, and you're on some Star Wars shit with like the things that he does and the level and it's great. You want to be around people like that. You want to see and know that there's levels and you know, those step changes are so important when someone shows you something different. And I agree. Sorry, I completely agree, Jessie.
That was a great long answer to agree. I like it.
Sorry.
I like it. So in summary, he agrees, guys.
Yeah, talk less, Deepak. Note to self.
I want you to talk more though, because you're doing it. You're in the process. You've got such valuable information that people out there who are just starting out need to know, and it's that support network too that they can start to build and create. Like if I had an idea in my mind and I want to make it big, and I'm watching this and I'm thinking, okay, where the hell do I start? Because there's so much. What 3 things or 3 steps would I take straight away just to get started?
Absolutely. So let's take a practical example, guys. So if you are going to start, okay, so I'm thinking about starting an e-commerce business, right? Because I am curious about doing something that scales better. So I'll talk to you about my first 10 steps, okay? So I
said 3. No, I'm joking, don't worry.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So 3 steps. 3 steps.
You can go with 10. That's good.
So my first couple of steps would be massive action. Okay, there is no right step. So if you want to take your first 3 steps, your first step would be, you know, what's one action that you could take that will get you closer to a sale. So, you know, you could ask a friend, what do you think about this business, number 1, or you could post a link on a forum, or you could look at research to show if there's interest in your niche. The second thing is that you could try and make the sale. You know, would you be interested in buying this, you know, this product or this service? And then the third thing could be, it's difficult. It's not that there's a specific series of steps. I think my short answer is it's more that you just need to take massive action. Mm-hmm. Registering a domain name takes 5 minutes. You can buy one from namecheap.com, godaddy.com, oneandone.com for like £10. You can buy hosting for a year for probably £50, probably less, right? You can get $2-3 a month things. So you could spend £100 and you go to fiverr.com and get your logo designed. So there's so much that you can do that's super cheap. So, or you could Google free logo designer, company name and registration. So I think my short answer is, number 1, take massive action. Number 2, feel the fear and fuck it, do it anyway. And number 3 would be to just try and work through the problems that come with it. Just don't give up. Don't give up. You know, don't give up. I think they'd be probably maybe my first 3 things.
I've got to say, I think the number 2 is the best one. Feel the fear and fucking do it anyway. FFFD.
Yeah. There you go. FFFD.
It's like
yeah, Jessie, you're better than me. Perfect. My next tattoo. Woo!
Live in a world of acronyms.
Oh, that's a good question.
And one thing I had to ask, because we had a question. It was someone contacted me on Twitter. When was it? About 2 days ago. And so there were 2 actually. One was AMP or AMP. So you already covered that in the beginning. But the other one was email marketing. They said, where is that going? So at the moment they do it quite traditionally. They just spam. But now we've got GDPR coming in and things are going to be changing quite soon. Where do you think that is going, and how can she manage that moving forward?
Sure. Do you know anything about the kind of business she's in or what she does, or shall I just talk generally?
I think I just talk generally for now. I can message her and ask her later
cool.
on.
Okay, it's cool. So, guys, with GDPR, look, business to business cold email is not dying, right? If you're a business trying to approach another business with a legitimate reason that is a service that will help them improve their operations, then that is acceptable to send them an email, as long as you can make it clear that they can unsubscribe from that email, okay? So you need to make the unsubscribe link really clear, okay? If you take a spray and pray approach and send 1,000 emails to personal email accounts, you're going to get your shit banned, right? So don't send it to personal accounts. Don't send it to info accounts. Try and go for personalization. You can still cold email, I believe, but it's really aimed at like the spammers and the people that send bad emails, and kind of nefarious in some way. So that's what I'd say to consider. The second thing to consider is that if you've already got an email list, oh my God, guys, it's not that fucking hard. If you've got a MailChimp account, just compose an email saying, hey, I'd just like to confirm that you'd want to be part of this list. And this is, please re-sign up, and this will act as your proof that you're part of this list or whatever. It's an email that will take you about 30 minutes to compose, let's say an hour and a half, because if you're a little bit slower. And then you just send it to your entire list. And then whoever confirms to that email is your new list. And then you just delete everybody else. So I am doing nothing about GDPR, and I do cold emails and means of business. May 25th is the deadline. On May 20th, I'm going to spend a hard 1 day to 2-3 days to gather all of my entire email network. And I'm just going to email everybody saying, hey guys, do you still want to be part of my list? And you know what? Don't worry, because if they don't respond, then you were never going to make any money from them probably anyway. So that's what I'd say to do. And there's a lot of fear mongering. I don't think that it's going to really change that much. I think it's really aimed at these guys that are selling perhaps diet pills or weight loss pills, or sign up to my MLM model and make $1 million, or sign up to my timeshare, sending it to me. The kind of really bad emails. I think it's really aimed at that crowd. For most of you folks, sending good, legitimate emails with a good reason for business, then perfect. If you're someone who thinks you're doing that, but you're doing it badly, then you're going to get your fingers burnt. But that's why we're here to just help you with that.
You came up as a really good point there. Ironically, by emailing everybody and making sure it's still relevant to them, you're actually reconnecting with valued customers. So every email you send out is worth 100 times more because you're sending out to someone who's actually confirmed they're interested. Exactly.
Like the value, guys, is not in the list. The value's in the engagement on that list. Okay, it's just this number. I've got 100,000 subscribers. It's bullshit. It's how many people are actually engaged, genuine fans. And look at GDPR as an opportunity to reactivate, reconnect, and re-engage with old customers and new ones coming in. And, you may find it will be, a blessing in disguise.
Wicked. That's really good. So in that case, we put a positive spin on something that everyone is panicking about, because all I'm reading at the moment is GDPR.
Yeah. Like people try and and again, guys, if you get people trying to invade your thought space with all this negative GDPR, just fucking ignore them. I just tell people, don't talk to me about it. I don't want to hear about it, because it's not important today, right? It's important on May the 25th. So worry about it on May the 23rd. Spend 10 hours worrying about it instead of 3 months worrying about it. And actually, the actions that you need to take that I've just described, it's 3 hours work. It's not hard, and you'll be fine. That's it.
So on that, we've got a super positive note. I can't believe how much we've covered in this session. Deepak, we've gone from like the future of SEO through to like entrepreneurship and how to find the right people down to GDPR.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. It's all fun and games, right? It's all I want everyone to get genuine value from this and to do better and be better. And I'm just speaking about the things that are important to my heart and what's going on and all that kind of stuff. So fucking sweet.
And if anyone wants us to talk about anything specifically, or is I really want to understand about this area, message us, email us, message us on YouTube, on the link here, find us on LinkedIn, whatever you need to do, we're here.
Yep.
So drop us a message, a call, a video message if you want to, be super relevant.
That would be cool. That'd be very cool.
To that.
Yeah, we will get better at having universal handles for you to funnel your messages to. But please do comment, subscribe, and follow everything that we have online ever. Please, thank you.
I love it.
I'll send this to my friend. I'm just going to send him the share link at this specific moment. Be like, boom, I did it. He's like, how's the actual content? I'll be like, crap, it doesn't matter.
Deepak, it was epic. In that case, have an amazing afternoon.
You too.
Catch it maybe Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah, let's do it. If twice a week is good for me, these are always fun. Let's keep on doing it.
Epic.
All right. See you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.